All right, let's get you the latest that is coming in as we speak. Rahul Gandhi is meeting the Unnao survivor who yesterday was dragged where she was squatting and protesting at the India Gate. Right now, it is amazing that the Delhi High Court has suspended the jail term of Kuldeep Sengar on the grounds where they say he was not a public servant. Take a look.
A life sentence suspended, a convict granted bail, and a survivor forced back into protest. Bail for Kuldeep Singh Sengar, a four-time BJP MLA convicted in the Unnao rape case. The Delhi High Court has suspended his life sentence while his appeal is pending. The High Court ruled that Sengar could not be categorized as a public servant under Section 5C of the POCSO Act or Section 376(2)(b) of the IPC, the clauses which deal with aggravated penetrative sexual assault by a public servant. The court ruled that Sengar's crime comes under Section 4 of the POCSO Act, in which the maximum term is 7 years. The judges noted that Sengar has already spent over 7 years in prison. They said continued incarceration while the appeal is yet to be heard could amount to a violation of Article 21, the constitutional right to life and personal liberty. The court also rejected the argument that Sengar's release would pose a threat to the survivor, calling it untenable at this stage. It ordered the CRPF to give protection to the survivor and family. The relief, however, comes with strict conditions. A 15 lakh personal bond, no entry within 5 kilometers of the survivor's home, no contact with the survivor or her family, mandatory residence in Delhi, weekly reporting to the police, and immediate cancellation of bail if even one condition is violated. Despite the order, Sengar will remain behind the bars for now as he continues to serve a separate 10-year sentence in the custodial death case of the survivor's father. But the court's reasoning did little to ease the survivor's fear. Dragged by police, surrounded by barricades. Returned to the streets, not in defiance, but in distress. At India Gate, she and her family sat in protest, asking only for safety. Police dispersed the demonstration, but the fear did not disperse.
ऐसा देश में पहला ऑर्डर है कि रेप के आरोपी को बेल मिली हुई है। ये हर बेटी की हिम्मत तोड़ दिया इस जजमेंट ने। जब तक कुलदीप सिंह सेंगर की बेल खारिज नहीं की जाती है, जब तक हम शांत नहीं बैठेंगे, चाहे मुझे जेल ही न जाना पड़े।
The protest has now triggered political reactions. Rahul Gandhi questioned the treatment of the survivor, asking, is this how a rape survivor is treated for demanding justice? But UP Minister OP Rajbhar dismissed the protest, arguing that the court's safeguards were sufficient.
देखिए, कोर्ट ने इस बात को कहा है कि सेंगर जी पीड़ित परिवार से 5 किलोमीटर दूर रहेंगे, ऐसा कोर्ट का निर्देश है। तो दिल्ली में धरना देने से पुलिस ने जब उनको कहा कि अब कोर्ट ने जब इस तरह की व्यवस्था दिया है तो आप असुरक्षित कहाँ हैं?
From a courtroom order to a street protest, the Unnao case once again exposes the gap between constitutional reasoning and lived fear. With Himanshu Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, the latest news break that is coming in right now is that the Unnao rape survivor has met the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi had also tweeted in her favor a short while ago where he had said that why was she dragged away by the Delhi police? All she was doing was protesting. Why are we trying to muffle the voice of a rape survivor? She met Rahul Gandhi a short while ago along with Sonia Gandhi. Both of them reassured the victim, where Rahul Gandhi assured me that he will fight for justice, is what the Unnao rape survivor says. Will also like to meet Prime Minister and Home Minister. Sengar is a threat to me, is what the Unnao rape survivor has stated. She asked where Rahul Gandhi was concerned, that she and her family get, or the LOP, Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi, get the family a good lawyer to take the case to Supreme Court and fight the case in Supreme Court. They want his help to get a good lawyer to do so. She has also requested the Leader of Opposition that she and her family be relocated to a Congress-run state because she does not feel secure right now in Uttar Pradesh. There has also been a request for a job for the rape survivor, is what we've been given to understand. But she also says that she would like to meet the Prime Minister and the Home Minister as well. Listen in.
और राहुल भैया का सामने से फोन आया और सामने से हमको बुलाया और मैं उनसे मिलने गई। उन्होंने मुझे न्याय का आश्वासन दिया और न्याय की लड़ाई के लिए आगे के लिए बोला है। तो यही है कि हमें न्याय दीजिए। आप लोगों से यही उम्मीद है कि मेरी आवाज़ आगे तक बढ़ाइए और मुझे न्याय दिया। और राहुल भैया का सामने से फोन आया और सामने से हमको बुलाया और मैं उनसे मिलने गई। उन्होंने मुझे न्याय का आश्वासन दिया और न्याय की लड़ाई के लिए आगे के लिए बोला है। तो यही है कि हमें न्याय दीजिए। आप लोगों से यही उम्मीद है कि मेरी आवाज़ आगे तक बढ़ाइए और मुझे न्याय दिया।
All right, so the Unnao rape survivor met Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. She has also said she'd like to meet the Home Minister and the Prime Minister as well. More details that are coming in, that both Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi assured her that they will help her fight for justice. Three major things that I pointed out earlier that the victim and her family have requested Rahul Gandhi. The first request is that the LOP help them appoint a good lawyer. A good lawyer, very, very expensive to take the court in Supreme Court. They say they need that kind of help, that a reputed lawyer take up their case and fight it out in the top court of the country. And it seems Rahul Gandhi has promised them that. The other request that has been made, that she and her family be relocated to a Congress-run state, as she feared that she could be murdered, is at least what she fears, and wants to be relocated to a Congress-run state. And also the husband of the victim, the survivor here, has requested Rahul Gandhi if she could be given a job as well in a Congress-run state. I want to cut across to my colleague Rahul Gautam, who's joining us for more details coming in. Rahul, you know, in the afternoon, Rahul Gandhi had tweeted out at the plight of the survivor on how she was taken away because she was protesting at India Gate by the Delhi police. It seems it touched a raw nerve, and now the meeting between the Unnao rape survivor, while the BJP is calling it sheer optics and politics, but there were certain promises that have been made to this young girl.
You know, yes, Preeti, and in fact, this meeting happened at the initiative of the behest of Rahul Gandhi himself, as told by Unnao rape survivor. In fact, three things family has sought from Rahul Gandhi's office. That a good Supreme Court lawyer should be provided, given the fact that now, because of the relief coming in for Kuldeep Singh Sengar from High Court, the matter would now be landing in the Supreme Court. Therefore, they sought a good lawyer for the Supreme Court case. The second thing, they said that they are also fearing for their life, and in fact, they've been saying that their security is a concern for them ever since this verdict came out, and therefore the family should be relocated to a Congress-ruled state, to which Rahul Gandhi said that it will be done. And the third thing, they also sought a livelihood or a job for themselves to sustain themselves. So, and Sonia Gandhi was also present during the meeting. The meeting lasted for 1 hour. Rahul Gandhi was there, the survivor was there, her mother was there, Yogita Bhayana, who's a women activist, she was also there. In fact, both Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi promised and assured the family that they're going to do their best in their capacity to ensure that justice comes their way. And in fact, they also said that they're going to take up this issue with relevant authorities. So clearly, it seems that, as Rahul Gandhi's tweet also explains itself, that Rahul Gandhi is just not standing in solidarity with the family. In fact, it seemed that this is also taking up a shape of an issue which obviously Congress would take. And that's why you see the BJP is just not impressed. They are saying that this is mere optics and Congress is only politicizing. But one thing is very important, that the family is insisting that not just Rahul Gandhi, they also want to meet Home Minister Amit Shah, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and whosoever is calling them, giving them audience, they would go and present their
Rahul,
case. And
has
their
the victim
audience. So clearly,
by the
it seems
Congress
that,
High
it's a
Command
long
and the
battle.
Gandhis been promised the three things that she has asked for? She's asked for a reputed lawyer to take up the case in Supreme Court. She asks to be relocated to a Congress state. Her husband has asked that she be given a job in a Congress-run state. Are all three things been agreed upon by the Congress?
Well, for the two things, this is what we're getting from our sources. Rahul Gandhi's office has agreed. The family would be provided with a good Supreme Court lawyer to present their arguments in the highest court of the land. And second, they would be relocated to a Congress-ruled state. Now, how this is going to happen, when this is going to happen, it is something which we'll be, knowing maybe later on. But Rahul Gandhi assured that they'll be relocated, given the fact that family expressed, fear, saying that they have now security concerns ever since this verdict came out. And in fact, that earlier, accident took place earlier on highway, the custodial death of the father of the rape survivor. So they've been fearing for their life, and therefore Rahul Gandhi said that the family would be relocated. For the third, thing that for a job, Rahul Gandhi said that he'll look into it. So clearly, as far as Rahul Gandhi's office or Rahul Gandhi is concerned, it seems that they have assured the family that they're going to do their best, in their capacity to ensure justice for the family, and obviously said that they're going to take up this issue on various and relevant platforms in coming days as well.
All right, Rahul, appreciate you joining us. We're going to come back to you for more updates. The rape survivor has also said that she wants to and wishes to seek a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Home Minister as well. Till now, the BJP has, at least in terms of the politics of it all, Rahul Gandhi meeting the rape survivor, has called it optics and politicization of a tragic event. And ultimately, it was something that has come in through the courts and not a political stand that the party or the state government has done, because Kuldeep Sengar is already expelled from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I want to cut across to our panelists this evening and expand the ambit of this debate. Joining me is Lalitha Kumaramangalam, former chairperson NCW. She also is affiliated to the Bharatiya Janata Party. I have Dr. Shama Mohammed, national spokesperson Congress. Barkat Rehan, she is a social activist, fights for men's rights. Dushyant Dave, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. I'd like to cut across to Mr. Dave first. Mr. Dave, the fact is I'm trying to make sense of the 53-page judgment, and it does seem the basis of releasing or at least suspending the sentence of Kuldeep Sengar stems from the fact, prima facie, that the offense of aggravated penetrative sexual assault under POCSO was not made out against him. Section 5 of POCSO lists circumstances under which a penetrative sexual assault of a child is considered aggravated. And as per the same, if it is committed by a public servant or a police officer, then it becomes aggravated sexual assault. And therefore, because the court deems he was not a public servant, and correct me if I'm wrong, because it's as bizarre as that, then the charge doesn't hold.
Well, let me say one thing, that this is a judgment which shocks the conscience of every person in this country. And this is one of the reasons why, judiciary is losing its faith. I can share with you, Preeti, today my secret of quitting law in July 2025 after 48 years of practice, because I have lost faith in judiciary. And I can tell you one thing, this judgment is perverse beyond imagination, because the judges have not even cared to see the act, the scheme of the act, why the act was brought. It was brought following India's, signing of the international conventions prepared by the United Nations to protect the children. And it has many, it's a social, enactment. It is to protect children against all kinds of offenses. And the judges have misunderstood the opening part of the section 5, which says, when committed by persons in authority or trust. Now, can there be doubt about the fact that an MLA, a serving MLA, is not a person in authority or trust? The rest of the part, like specifying, public servant or a police officer or, other hospital in charge or school in charge, those are illustrative cases. What you have to see is a person in authority or trust who has committed this offense. The moment you find that he is such a person, then the conviction must hold under section 5C and 20 years minimum sentence has to be imposed upon him. So the interpretation that judges have given is not a purposive interpretation. It is, I would say, it's extremely myopic, and it is saddening that judges of the Delhi High Court have, given this kind of an order, which really is against, protection of children in this country. We know what is happening across the country. We know what our elected representatives do and can do. We have seen how father was killed. We have seen how lawyer was killed. We have seen this is a case which shocks the conscience of everybody. The judges have ignored everything. There is a detailed judgment by the trial court convicting this person. And if appeal was admitted as early as 2020, where was the need for judges to have taken up the application for bail and granted the bail? It's a perverse approach. And I really hope and pray that the Supreme Court really intervenes, if necessary, suo motu, and stays this judgment forthwith. Because if it doesn't, we are sending terrible signals that people in power can get away. We are seeing every day that politicians, when they are convicted, get justice as quickly as possible, whereas citizens like us have to wait for months and years to get, justice, and many of us will end up spending time in jail without bail. Why is it that this is happening? It's something which really we need to introspect, ponder, debate, and I think I would really sincerely appeal to the judiciary, which I love and respect. I have been part of it for 48 years, that they really should be on a correctional course.
No, Mr. Dave, I think one thing is right, especially in the recent past, there is a certain amount of disillusionment that has been set in where the judiciary comes into question. But I want to just bring you back in before I start, I include our other panelists. Because of all of the people who are watching, can you simplify it for us? Why do you think that this judgment was perverse? Because the 53-page judgment copy, if you look at, it seems that the bench has only focused, and one doesn't understand, on the fact that Mr. Sengar, as MLA, is not a public servant. How bizarre is that?
As I said, it's not to be public servant and covered by Section 5C is one of the illustrations. But really what is important and which judges have missed is by persons in authority or trust. One other example in that provision is also this: a person in a position of trust or authority over the child. Now, MLA is in authority over almost all electorates in his constituency. We know what kind of a power which is wielded. But more important than that, public servant has been widely interpreted by the Supreme Court in P.V. Narasimha Rao's case, although under Prevention of Corruption Act. And recently, Supreme Court in CBI versus Ramesh Gheli, it was, I think, 2016 or 2019 judgment, said that even an officer of a private bank is liable to be considered a public servant because he exercises an authority over public. Now, look at the MLA. He takes an oath to discharge public duties. And it is impossible to consider that an MLA is not therefore a public authority. You have to look to the, to the intention behind the act. This legislation is a very special legislation. The judges can't, oversimplify it and say he's an MLA, he's not a public servant. MLA is a public servant so far as Prevention of Corruption Act is concerned. Why should he not be treated under a serious law like this? I think judges have interpreted, which according to me, the country must know in an extremely perverse way. And this judgment is wholly unsustainable on legal principles. And it really shocks at least my conscience very seriously. I am very sad that
Mr. Dave, before we let you go, just one quick question, because, which draws me to a larger question here, the halo the sheen of that halo which the judiciary enjoyed. There was a certain amount of reverence that we've looked at of the judiciary of this country, the last resort. The judiciary would not do anything wrong. We've seen in a span of just couple of weeks, a case after case, which, like I said, somewhere down the line takes away from that the sheen of that halo or the reverence that one felt for the judiciary of this country. You had the Aravalli verdict, the judgment which has come in from the top court of the country, and you have the Delhi High Court coming in, with a judgment like this. Do you think this is a moment of reckoning now? Because too much has gone by. There has to be some recalibration.
I must tell you one thing, that there was a time when I started my practice in 1978, judiciary was, absolutely outstanding, and it deservedly commanded respect across the country. Today, I would definitely say that judiciary does not command that respect across the country. And that is a matter for judges to really seriously ponder. I have been saying this for last at least 2 decades, that judiciary is fast losing its respect and acceptability in the society at large. We don't have, like United States, these kind of surveys which take place. But I can assure you, if a survey was taken about people's confidence in judiciary will come out very poorly. And I think every judge must realize that he has a constitutional duty to, ultimately, who is he? He is a protector of fundamental rights of citizens, a high court judge or a Supreme Court judge. And if they go on giving this kind of judgments, Aravalli, for example, where was the need to give that judgment? It's a completely wrong judgment. So it's not this. See, last 25 years, 30 years, we are seeing a, very serious erosion in the way Supreme Court and High Courts and judiciary across the country is discharging its functions. There are outstanding judges. But unfortunately, sometimes these kind of, errors which are made by few judges really bring down judiciary's respect amongst the society. And that is what has to be stopped. I hope somebody really takes up this issue. I hope Chief Justice of India, who has recently been appointed, really, looks into this aspect and, assures us citizens that no, judiciary will be fiercely independent and will stand up for.
But, appreciate you taking the time out and joining us, Mr. Dave. But you did say, there are outstanding judges, and I'm sure they are. And, there are a few who will come up with judgments like this. But the Aravalli judgment had the former CGI on that bench, sir. So, I just want to put that out there. But I thank you for taking the time out. Appreciate it, Mr. Dave. I want to cut across right now to Lalitha Kumaramangalam as well as Dr. Shama Mohammed. And we also have, I believe, Brad Khatrehan with us. Shama Mohammed, we just broke that news of the survivor. And thank you, all three of you, for your patience when we were speaking with Mr. Dave. It was important to understand what really, what happened. How is it that the Delhi High Court could come up with a judgment as perverse as that, to understand the legalities of that? But Dr. Shama Mohammed, a short while ago, you had the Unnao rape survivor meet the LOP. Now, call it political that you may, but the BJP says this is sheer optics. You're trying to politicize a situation where they have nothing to do with. It has everything to do with the Delhi High Court. The order has come in from there. Why politicize it and blame the government?
Preeti, they have everything to do. What are the images we see? We see a suspended sentence by the Delhi High Court of a rapist called Kuldeep Singh Sengar, who was a BJP MLA. And on the other side, the picture is the rape victim, along with her mother and another lady, went to protest in Delhi, at the center of Delhi. And what happens? They get arrested. And who arrests them? The Delhi police. Delhi police comes under who? Amit Shah, the central government. Now, my question today is, why did the Delhi police arrest the victim? Let them protest. They have the right. I remember Nirbhaya's time, they were protesting all over Delhi. Did we stop them from the protest? No, this is a democracy. That's why I'm saying that this government, especially Narendra Modi, stands with rapists. And I'll give you examples. Whether it was Hathras, whether it's Unnao, whether it's Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, whether it's Manipur, whether it's Bilkis Banu, the Prime Minister of India has never said a single word against these rapists. And the worst case was Bilkis Banu. Her rapist could get remission only from the CBI court in Mumbai if the central government agreed to it. The rapists come out. What happens? They get garlanded. And after that, let me finish. And they were used for campaigning in the Gujarat assembly elections. And that is why in Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh case, he could have asked the MP, which is the BJP MP, to step down from the Wrestling Federation. He was the president. He did not. He did not even suspend him when he was an MP. Nothing was done. Only he did not give him a ticket to him, but he gave the ticket to his son. Now, where is the Prime Minister of India standing with the women of India? He has always stood with the rapists, and that is the issue here.
All right. I want to,
Rahul Gandhi has stood with the victim.
Okay.
Whether it's Nirbhaya,
Okay, Dr. Mohammed,
or
you've
the
made your point. I'll come back to you, ma'am.
Congress party has stood with
I
the
just want
victims.
to, want to put it out there for the benefit of our viewers. If you're seeing a missing BJP spokesperson face, that invitation did go out. The BJP has chosen not to appear on this particular show. Ma'am, there are multiple times the Congress also says no. So, let's not politicize this. I just want to put out the information there. Ma'am, let's not get into an argument on this. I just want to put the information out. I want to bring in, ma'am, am I allowed to bring in our other guests? Can I just bring in, can I just get the faders down? Can I get in Lalitha Kumaramangalam, former chairperson NCW, on this? Lalitha Kumaramangalam, you are affiliated with the Bharatiya Janata Party, but having said that, you've always taken a very, very fair stand. I just want you to give us some perspective right now with what you see. The Delhi police, yes, you're not allowed to protest at the India Gate, where, in December, there is 26 January, there are security concerns. Ever since Nirbhaya happened, which it was the epicenter of that was India Gate, there are certain laws that have come into place where protest is concerned, but to be taken away and dragged away by the Delhi police, where all you were doing was sitting with your mother and protesting judgment which is clearly perverse in nature, really, it's a tad bit shameful, would you reckon?
I think it's absolutely the wrong optics. The Delhi police had no business manhandling or roughly handling this young girl. As you rightly pointed out, Preeti, she was there protesting because she's probably terrified. The man we are talking about is a very powerful man. He's no longer in the BJP. He has been kicked out of the party. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't remain powerful. And also remember that the girl has been to hell and back. Any rape victim lives that rape for the rest of her life. When she sees a court in the national capital suspending this man's sentence on a mere legal technicality, and I'm not a lawyer, but I did hear Mr. Dave, who's a very well-known, very respected lawyer, say exactly this. How do you expect her not to be terrified? The Delhi police could at the very least, and this I agree, could at the very least have handled her a little more gently and a little more a compassion for her. Having said that, it's not the politicians, no party, whether it's Congress or BJP and any other party, this time it's not the politicians who are at fault, it's the court itself. Everybody who has anything to do with, women and has worked in this area is unanimously saying that we don't understand what the two judges of the Delhi High Court were talking about or thinking about when they came up with this absolutely unacceptable decision. He is a convicted rapist. He is also suspected to have murdered not just her father, but also her two aunts in that car accident, where apparently a truck repeatedly rammed them, and where this poor child also almost lost her life. So did her lawyer die. So this is not a simple case. And according to me, the law now really needs a rethink. Because what is an MLA but a public servant? Why are you elected MLA, MLC, MP, etc.? You are supposed to serve the public if you're an elected official. Am I right or wrong? This is a democracy. We all vote. So whoever is elected, whether you agree with the politics of that party or not, you are supposed to serve the public. How can a high court say that an elected MLA is not a public office of a servant of the public? You may not technically be working for the government person, but actually you are, because it's the government that pays all your salaries, etc., your perks, etc. Everything comes from the taxes that are paid by the Indian voter, by the Indian taxpayer, right? This is a democracy. So how they can call this man not a public servant is something that defeats many of us across the board. And as you say, I don't like playing politics when it comes to women's issues. regardless of the aggression of the Congress spokesperson, she's done her job. So there's no point in trying to engage with her on that. She's put her viewpoint forward. Fine, no problem.
Her, but when I
But
speak, you keep
please don't
interrupting.
Ma'am, she's come in the capacity of former NCW. You both have got the same amount of time. Dr. Mohammed, we're all on the same side. I hope you'd understand that today.
Exactly. Please stop this. This is how you water down issues for women. When we sit and fight like this, it's ridiculous. It's this girl that needs to be put first, whether it's Congress or BJP or some other party, for God's sake. Please
allow me to
don't.
bring in, Ms. Mangalam, I just want to bring in, and Dr. Mohammed, I'm coming right back to you. You will get your chance. There's no point getting into this. I want to bring in Barkha Trehan. Ma'am, we've put your fader down for a reason.
The facts to her. If she doesn't understand facts, then it's her problem.
Ma'am, she's come in the capacity of former NCW. Let me please say this again. There is no spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party today. There is no spokesperson of the BJP today. Please understand that. Can I get the faders down? Can I just get the faders down? I just want to cut across to Barkha Trehan. Barkha Trehan, I don't know. The fact is, I hear that you believe that justice has been done and the court has seen clearly, the reading of the law is justified in your point of view. Why would you say or think that is something I'd like to understand?
Justice should be served to the victim. There is no second thought about that. But why selective outrage culture? The same people who stay silent in thousands of ordinary cases suddenly become loud when it suits their political narrative.
Cases
Court orders don't suit narratives.
Barkha Trehan, I just want to ask you a question. You say selective outrage. I just want to understand, where is the selective outrage stemming from? What are the cases that you're actually speaking of, ma'am? You're saying they don't speak on other issues. Give me examples. We'd like to hear those examples.
Why did Rahul Gandhi jump? Because he is politicizing the whole issue.
Ma'am, which are the cases that he hasn't spoken on?
When the court has said it doesn't suit his narratives.
Madam, you are saying you're making a charge.
Don't match party's agenda.
Barkha Trehan, you're making a charge. Allow me to ask you a question. If there is selective outrage, you're bang on, it should not happen. So for our viewers, to get a larger understanding of the fact on why do you think that there is selective outrage from a particular party which you're charging, give us cases where either the Congress hasn't spoken or people who are today protesting haven't protested then.
What about that? What about that? Have we ever questioned that?
Ma'am, what?
Victim use symbol. Instead of ensuring protection to the victim, he is just politicizing the issue.
Ma'am, I want to know where is the... I'll ask you that question again.
The court doesn't work on emotions.
Barkha Trehan, I'll ask you that question again, ma'am. Allow me to ask you that. Ma'am, 1 second.
Bail to Kuldeep Singh Sengar. The case has not ended. The case will go on and it will go on and on in the court.
Okay, I understand. Ms. Trehan, I understand that you say that, the case, he's not been acquitted. It's a suspension of sentence right now. That is exactly what we're debating. You also made a charge, and you're bang on if it is correct. That selective outrage doesn't quite cut it. I want you to, for the benefit of our viewers, understand where is the selective outrage coming in from. Give us instances, one after the other, where you feel there has been selective outrage.
See, the selective outrages, whenever it suits your party agenda, you are talking to the girl. Why did Rahul Gandhi have to call the girl? What was the need of that? Why is the girl saying that I want this? She has given such a big list. And why is she there?
Ma'am, why shouldn't she?
Why isn't she?
If somebody is listening to her, why shouldn't she? Barkha Trehan, I'll come back and ask you.
Same girl
ma'am, I don't think you're understanding my question.
Priyanka Gandhi, I have all the pictures and the videos. Then she was very happy when she was doing the election campaign with Priyanka Gandhi. Now she's saying, "Dar ka mahal hai. They will kill me." Why would they kill you? Why will they kill you? There is nothing.
Madam, are you actually shaming the victim? Are you actually shaming the victim?
Undermining.
Barkha Trehan, are you actually victim shaming and suggesting that she was laughing earlier? Barkha Trehan, Madam, I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me? Are you sitting here
can't
and
hear
actually... Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me, right?
See, this is again, I'm saying this
Madam,
is bail and
can you
not
hear me?
acquittal. This
Can you
man
hear
has
me?
not been acquitted.
Barkat
He
Rehan,
is
can you hear me?
inside. You
Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. Okay, we're going to cut that out. I don't think Barkat Rehan can hear me. I want to cut across back to Dr. Shama Mohammed, and I'll bring you in, Dr. Mohammed, because understandably, nobody is saying, or it's a charge by the BJP that your leader is politicizing the issue. The fact, I don't think there's anything wrong for any political party to speak up for survivors and victims. They must, this is their job to do so. Now, please make your point.
My point is, the lady over there has come with an agenda. She's accusing Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi has always stood with women, rape victims. I don't know when he has not stood with. See, let me take a case of Kerala, an MLA of my party, all right? He was not convicted. There was an FIR against him. Before the FIR came to him as a sexual predator, we took him off the Youth Congress president. He was out of that. And we suspended him as an MLA from this party, from the Congress party. When the FIR was lodged in the police station, we expelled him. We didn't wait for the court case. We didn't wait for conviction.
But Dr. Mohammed, even Kuldeep Sengar has been expelled. And you can
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you about that. When was he expelled? After the CBI, there was a charge sheet filed against him. The charge sheet took a long time. The CBI filed a charge sheet. The case was there. When he was convicted, they expelled him. Let me understand. When he killed her father, after he killed her father, after the lawyer was killed, all those things have happened when she immolated herself. This is before any conviction. That is how the Congress party. And also, let me take the case of the Nirbhaya rape case. In the Nirbhaya rape case, the Congress party, Sonia Gandhi ji, Manmohan Singh, they met with all the protesters and came out with the Nirbhaya Act. Let's fast track everything. That is what the Congress party is about. And I want to tell Mrs. Kumaramangalam one thing. She asked, what can the government do? Let me tell you, in the 2006 Mumbai blast case,
don't misquote me.
let me finish. Let me
Ma'am, I'll
finish.
come to you.
Court's ruling. I did not say
Ma'am, I'll
that
come
it
to
should
you.
be.
Ms. Mangalam, I'm coming right back.
Don't lie, not on national television.
Yeah, in the 2006 Mumbai blast case, when they were acquitted, Devendra Fadnavis government went to the Supreme Court to challenge that acquittal. The Delhi government can go to the Supreme Court if they want to for challenging this order, or the central government can go to. Why not? Like the Delhi government, if Fadnavis can do that for the acquittal of the Mumbai blast case because they were Muslims, why don't the Delhi government, there's a woman CM in Delhi, let her go against this and challenge it. Let the Prime Minister of India show that this verdict by the High Court is the most ridiculous, the most anti-women verdict we have heard in India. This is a no country for women now, it's turned out, because everything...
Allow me to...
The court also says that he can't threaten. He can't threaten her and the mother. Do you think people, gundas like Kuldeep Singh Sengar, listens to court?
No, fair point. I want to bring in Lalitha Kumaramangalam. She wants to make a point, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
First of all, Shama Mohammed is lying on television. I didn't say this. In fact, what I kept saying was that I don't want to politicize it. What happens is that when we start fighting like cat and dog on national television, the issue gets submerged. This is not about BJP versus somebody else, Congress versus somebody else. Rahul Gandhi met the victim, fine. That's a good thing. I'm not saying it's bad. But that is not the issue that we are here to discuss. The issue we are here to discuss is that has the law been misinterpreted? As Daveji has said, this is far more important. This tutu meme that goes on is what waters down actually the relief that the victim needs to get. This is what I'm trying to say. This is not, and I've said this ad nauseum about either Congress or BJP or somebody else. And this man has been kicked out of the BJP. I'm not even going into that. We are talking here about why has the High Court of Delhi, which is the capital of this country, come up with a decision that is being questioned across the board. It sounds ridiculous. The man was a public servant. He was an MLA when this happened. He still is very powerful. The fear the young girl, the victim, has is perfectly justified. This is what all of us are questioning. Today, the loss of faith is in the Indian judiciary. The judiciary, we are constantly told, should not be questioned. But today I ask why? Why should it not be questioned? It is fairly obvious that the judgment is being questioned across the country by people across the board. And this is what we need to stand firmly for. Don't break it down into Congress, BJP, blah, blah. It totally waters down the issue at hand. It's good
Okay.
Rahul met her. Nobody's saying it's bad. But that's not the point here. The point is that we need to take this forward. We need to be able to tell state governments and central governments that we need to have a relook at the POCSO Act. There are certain issues. We need to make the Delhi High Court, those particular two judges who gave the judgment, we need to make them feel that, yes,
Okay, I'll
we
go
must
back to...
look at the judgment.
Okay.
This is what is the issue.
Dr. Mohammed, I want to...
time to Ms. Kumaramangalam and you don't give me time.
Ma'am, I'll just come back to you.
Oh, please.
Ma'am, come on, there is persecution complex, Dr. Mohammed. Come on, equal time I'm giving. Next time I'll get the timer out.
Time this time because
Ma'am, make your point.
No, what I'm trying to say is that the Delhi government can challenge it. And what I'm trying to say is what we are all saying, the High Court verdict is wrong. Let the Delhi government challenge it.
Mohammed, it is already being challenged by...
Make your point.
Rahul Gandhi he's always stood with the rape victims, whether it's Hathras, Unnao, anywhere in this country, and even Nirbhaya. Let's understand that about Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party.
Ma'am, are you done? We're all on the same side. All I'm just saying is, Dr. Mohammed, they're on the same side. And Lalitha Kumaramangalam, she might have...
Mrs. Trehan is victim shaming.
No, I understand that. And we want to call that out. I want to cut across, Barkha Trehan, you might be putting out a picture and I want you to cut across. And we are not going to zoom into that picture. You might be holding it of this victim, whether she's with X, Y, and Z. Dare you come on at least my show, ma'am, and victim shame a rape survivor. You will not be allowed to do so. So let's just take that away, right? And I think we all admit on that. Take that away, ma'am. We're not interested in that. Don't get into that. All right, I just want to give final 10 seconds. Dr. Kumaram, and ma'am, if you put that down, and if you don't talk about the victim, I will come back to you for your final 20 seconds, Ms. Trehan. So go ahead. I'm glad you've put that down. Go ahead, make your point, 20 seconds.
Can I say?
Yes.
Yes, let's don't undermine the courts. Whatever the court's observation is, absolutely right. Sengar has already spent 8 years in jail and every evidence was provided in the court, and we should respect what the court's decision is. The courts are not run by emotions. They are run by facts and evidences, and we should respect it. And still, the victim's mother is saying that she wants to challenge it in the Supreme Court, so she is free to do that. Let's wait and watch. It's too early.
Okay.
And I don't know why are we debating on this. Why this co-panelist was calling him a gunda. She has no authority to call anybody a gunda. I really object to such language which is abusive.
Okay, madam.
Please
okay, ma'am, your 20
your
seconds
language.
are over. Okay, I want to cut across to our other panelists. 20 seconds.
You are not a social activist. Your Kuldeep Singh's pay come dressed as a social activist. And you're anti-woman, madam. Please don't ever come on channels speaking against rape victims.
Ma'am, don't get into everyone. Can I just get the faders down of Ms. Trehan? Ms. Trehan, you've had your 20 seconds.
Rape victim. That's what you are. You stand with Kuldeep Singh Sengar. Shame on
Okay.
you.
Ms. Mangalam, 20 seconds, ma'am. I just want to wrap up the debate.
Yeah, my point here is totally legal, that I think the POCSO law needs to have a relook at it. I myself find it very strange. I'm not here to say that judges should be removed, etc. But yes, it's a democracy. We have the right to question a judgment if we feel that it is not really dispensing justice. As I said, justice has to be seen to be done, not just to be done. So I hope that there is a relook. If the facts are what will be presented by Kuldeep Singh Sengar's lawyer, then it is ultimately the court that will decide. If
I'm going to leave it at that.
Supreme Court, she has every
at a lot of
so.
times one wonders whether you're treading in the territory where it's contempt of court. I hope not, because nobody's attaching motive here, but I would reckon one must end today with shame on the Delhi High Court bench that came up with the order that it did. Thank you, all three of you, for joining us. Ms. Trehan, I hope you take a relook at what you said, but you're allowed to your views. It's a news break that we at India Today are fairly proud of, and we can claim that this is our channel's impact on doggedly following the story. The centre has finally come out and said no new mining leases will be allowed in Aravalis. Will protect the entire Aravalli range, full mining lease banned from Delhi to Gujarat amidst the Aravalli outrage, Centre finally gives in. What are the modalities, the framework of what they seem to be pledging? I want to cut across to my colleague Milan Sharma, who is joining us for more. Milan, give us details. Where does this decision come from? What does it actually mean?
Well, Preeti, of course, the relentless coverage of India today on the Aravalli issue, and also the fact that the Supreme Court had asked the centre to start acting on the illegal and legal mining areas within the Aravalli ranges. Of course, the centre has now gone ahead and issued orders to the states that cover these Aravallis, especially Gujarat, Haryana, Rajasthan and Delhi, to not allow mining. Certainly, we know that in the area of Delhi NCR, there are 0 mining leases that are let out, but we know that real estate and construction threat still remains in the Delhi NCR region where the Aravalli and Ridge is situated. And there was a discrepancy on various reports that were put forward by the minister as well, whether 39 districts were part of the legal mining leases where they were being allotted, or 37 districts. So there is, more room for discussion on this. And certainly the government is now acting upon the strict orders of the Supreme Court as well, saying that no new mining leases will be given out in any state to any going forward until such time that mapping is done properly of the Aravalis to a certain, what are these new ranges, and the new definition under which the Supreme Court has accepted needs to be, looked at. And of course, the CEC will look at the mapping as well, which will take approximately 6 months from now on. And more will be revealed soon in terms of how much range of the Aravalli is actually being leased under mining, and those where, strictly illegal mining is being looked at and caught by the authorities. Preeti?
Milan, the hearing is actually still going on. 7th of January is when the top court will hear the case again, where the Aravalli Bachao Andolan has also come up with a PIL. What can we expect? Because the contention clearly is the definition of the Aravalis, where the 100-meter definition is concerned. Anything lower on that is not considered, at least legally, to be in the ambit of the Aravalis. Is the government also mulling a rethink on that?
Well, Preeti, because this uniformity was a problem between all the states, because as you know that Rajasthan was already following the 100 meters definition, but other states were not following these definitions. And that is why the government said that indiscriminate mining was happening in all the other states. To make it uniform, they brought in the definition, which was also suggested to the Supreme Court through the CEC, which was the committee that was put forward to bring this uniform, definition of the 100 meters. And having said that, and the Supreme Court having accepted the definition, it does seem that more questions will be put forward, and the Supreme Court will ask the centre to come back with a proper lease out plan, a proper mapping plan as well, because now, because of all the coverage that has happened on the Aravalli, certainly there will be more questions that will be raised as to why this particular definition was accepted. There were reports of the Forest Survey of India, not wanting to go ahead with, these kind of new definitions that had come forward. And all these details will also be asked by the courts in future. But we'll have to wait and see what will be the route that the Supreme Court will take on this entire controversial matter.
All right, Milan, thank you for joining us. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments, not just rhetoric, not just lip service. We're going to demand concrete answers and solutions where the Aravalli range is concerned, where the government comes into question. A quick